Hi guys, welcome to the AJAWI family channel. I'm Kara and this video is about how I crocheted my wedding dress. This video has actually been long overdue since this dress has been finished for the past 9 months or 8 months. Yes, I got married 8 months ago. So it has been finished for some time. But I finally decided that I'll sit down and tell you guys just how I managed to crochet my dress. Before we get into this video, we give you a drop of Jesus in all our videos, and today's verse is coming from Hebrews 13 verse 5. It says, "Be free from the love of money, content with such things as you have. For he has said, I will in no way leave you, neither will I in any way forsake you." I have my phone here. I wrote some notes just so that I make sure I cover everything or most things if I don't cover everything. So first I'll go into talking about the materials that I used. Alright, so the material I use is of course crochet thread. I kept the wrapper. Is it a wrapper? It's not really a wrapper since it doesn't wrap the whole ball of yarn or ball of thread, but it comes around the ball of thread. I will be placing a picture of the yarn or the crochet thread over here, so you guys will see that and any information that you would need from it. This says it was 400 yards. Let me also mention the number of crochet threads I used, quite a lot, or maybe it might not be a lot since it was a big dress or a long dress. So this is saying, my notes are saying that I used a total of 8,000 yards of crochet thread. 8,000 yards. That sounds a lot. But it's 15 400 yard crochet thread, which I think I have a picture of a 1,000 yard crochet thread, which I'll place here. And I used 15 400 yard and 2 1,000 yard crochet thread. So in total that came up to 8,000 yards of white crochet thread. The size of it, I believe this tells the size 7. I'm not sure, but this is the what's on the paper. So you're seeing the 7 up here, over 1.5 millimeters. I use this brand, Aunt Lydia's Classic 10, so that's how it looks. I'm not quite sure what the numbers mean, but if you do crochet, you can use it as a reference. Please note that I did not use the original thread. What I did was to actually double it so it could get a little thicker, because if I was supposed to do it with the thickness of the thread, it would have taken double the time. So what I did was to double it, and that made it much more easier. And the crochet hook that I used was 2 millimeters. So this was my trusty tool in completing this project. This was my best friend throughout the whole process. 2 millimeter, my 2 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, so I doubled the thread, the crochet thread that I just showed you. It's 100% mercerized cotton, Classic 10, and of course it just says white as the color. It doesn't give a number for the color. Oh, sorry. And this whole time it's upside down. I'm sorry. So it has white as the color, no number specifically, and it said made in Brazil. Alright, so that's it for the materials that I used. In terms of knowing my measurements, of course, I have my tape measure, as well as, since I was making it, I was able to measure myself as I go. Well, measure the progress as I go on my body. But I also had my trusty tool, the tape measure. But as for definitely knowing that this dress is fitting me as I go, I just took the dress and I measured it. Also, throughout this video, I will be showing small clips of my progress, or small clips of me actually crocheting. So maybe I'll put up one right now. So the step that I went through, I believe I started with the skirt section first. So I started with the belt. The belt, I used double crochets up and down, double crochets around the waist, and then from the waist I started a pineapple pattern. So to determine how I wanted my dress to look, I did quite some research, of course, and I looked for a lot of inspiration. I will show you guys some examples on the screen. I looked at different crochet dresses, people who actually accomplished this task, this very hefty task of crocheting a wedding dress. So I did look that up first to see if it's even possible, if I can even achieve it, and I did see quite a few and they looked very nice. I was over here fretting, guys, that I will be crocheting a granny dress, and I will tell the story of when I was in the middle of this dress. I will show the progress of this dress. It was late at night and I had finished the skirt, I had finished the top, and the dress was now at my knee, and I put it on the mannequin and I'm like, am I crocheting a granny dress? Because I can't be this far into this dress and it be looking like a pajama or a nightie. And so I messaged up my friend that also crochets, shout out to Janelle, and I was like, girl, tell me the truth, is this ugly, or does it look like it's going to be looking good? And she was like, yeah, it's going okay. And I was still in denial, to be honest, but I was like, you know what, I've gotten this far. If it's gonna look like a granny dress, I'ma just put it down and go buy a dress. But yes, guys, that was my, I almost had a breakdown. But yeah, let me see what else I have here that I want to talk about. So I told you I did the belt first, double crochet belt, about I did not measure how long the belt was, but it was about this width. I didn't measure the exact width, but as I said, I just looked at my body and I said, what is the width that I'd like my belt to be, and it was about this width. Alright, guys, from there I then moved on into doing a pineapple stitch, which I really learned just for the purpose of the dress. I went on YouTube, I looked up how to do a pineapple stitch, and I actually did a sample, which I'll put on the screen to just show you guys my progress, to show you guys my process. I did a small sample of this pineapple stitch, made sure that I perfected it, or did it as best as I could over and over, just to make sure I know the stitch before I actually moved into doing the wedding dress. So you guys will be seeing that here, and from there then I started doing my skirt. and then I went to the top part of the dress, and then the skirt was at my knee. I did the top part, and then from there I continued down from my knee to my ankle. The reason why I did this is because the skirt was taking a very long time and I felt like I was not making any progress, and so I moved to the top and then I went back to the skirt. The reason why it felt like it wasn't making any progress too, I believe, is because I did the pineapple stitch from my waist, from the belt to my knee, and then from my knee I started doing double crochets, and double crochets take a longer time. You need more stitches to make progress, if you guys get me. You need more stitches to make progress when you use a double crochet. Yeah, so I'm double crocheting, I'm double crocheting, I'm double crocheting, and I just felt like I was not making progress. And because the bottom of the dress below my knee, it kind of has a ruffle effect, so I'm just doing more double crochets as I go longer. And so it got to a point where one row of the dress took about 600 stitches. 600 stitches. That is how wide, that is how many double crochets I had to be doing. So it took an evening just to do about 2 to 3 rows of double crochets. I'm not an absolute professional, so I don't crochet very fast. I believe I have average speed, and so taking hours to just do 3 rows an evening, it was becoming a task. Like, it was very rough, it was pretty rough, and you guys will be seeing me doing the crochets here. As I said, I'll put up some videos as I'm speaking to you guys. And so you see, every time I believe the dress finally reached my ankle, I try it on and I'm like, yes, this is it. And then when I try it on, my mother would come and be like, no man, that need for longer. And I'm just like, why? Guys, I swear it was rough. And then the date to the wedding is getting closer, and I'm like, am I really gonna finish this in time? At one point I was like, if I don't finish, I'm just gonna cut off the skirt, cut off the skirt, keep a crochet top, and have a cloth bottom. Yeah, it sounds bad, but I don't think it wouldn't look bad. But thank the Lord, I was able to fully crochet the dress in time for the wedding. Yes. So yes, well, there you go. So yes guys, it took me quite a very long time. I began crocheting the dress in April. Let me see if I have the exact date written down. Have the exact date written down, but I began in April. I got engaged April the 1st, 2021, and I finished the dress probably a week before September 23rd, a week or two before September 23rd. Yeah, so that would be April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months to crochet my wedding dress, guys. Alright, so I actually have some costs written down here, so I'll mention how much my dress actually cost me to make. So I mainly bought my crochet threads from is it a wholesale? No, I don't believe it's a wholesale, but it's a store. If you're in Kingston or if you're in Jamaica, it's in downtown. It's called Patel's. I don't know if they always have crochet thread, but I know that I got my crochet thread from Patel's. And there's also another shop downtown that my mother found for me. I actually haven't been there. My mother bought the thread there. I don't know the name or anything, but she has a store dedicated to crochet thread and crochet yarn and crochet things. I actually have not visited there, but one day I will ask my mother to take me. All right, so I got in total, so I told you guys that I bought 2 large crochet threads at 1,000 yards. Those 2 cost me 2,000 Jamaican dollars. I can put the US equivalent here, and the other threads would have cost me, okay, let me give you the total that I have. The total for the threads, both the 1,000 yard threads and the 400 yard threads, came to a total of $7,100 for me. That's 7,100 Jamaican dollars. That's how much it was to crochet my dress, guys. But you have to take into consideration that it did take 6 months to make. Yeah. All right, so total cost for thread 7,100. I also, because it's crochet, you know, and I did a pineapple stitch, I needed something underneath. So I did carry the dress after fully crocheting it. I brought the dress to a dressmaker to line the dress. So she lined it with interlock cloth that I bought. I bought the cloth at Pablo's from Jamaica for $275. 275 Jamaican dollars, and it cost me no more than 5,000 to pay the dressmaker. All right, so in total for the thread, the cloth, and the dressmaker, we're at $12,375, the Jamaican dollars. 12,375 Jamaican dollars so far for a dress, for a wedding dress, guys. Yeah. For me as well, I wanted a veil as well as a belt. I had a belt. I purchased a belt online. I will put it on the screen here. I will also put the veil on the screen so you guys will also see that, and I'm gonna give you the Jamaican equivalent that I paid online for these. So the veil and the belt plus shipping cost me $5,738. So yeah, I bought them on Alibaba. To be honest, I didn't really trust it, but when they came, they were nice. I didn't trust it. I saw them, they looked nice online, but I'm like, I'm not gonna give myself high hopes and then they come and look bad, and then I'm all disappointed when I know that this is not a website to be purchasing a wedding veil. Yeah, but if it came and I didn't like it, I know I could go to a store in Jamaica, but I gave them a try. Yeah, and it was $5,738 to be buying anything wedding related is good in my eyes. Yeah, so for veil, belt, shipping of those 2, dressmaker, cloth, thread, we are at 18,113 Jamaican dollars. 18,113 Jamaican dollars, guys, for a whole wedding dress. And this cost just doesn't include jewelry and shoes. So that cost actually covers the whole dress, the belt, the veil, and any shipping, and yeah, and dressmaker. Guys, $18,113. I can't even believe I did it myself. I can't believe I spent $18,000 on a wedding dress. But it did take work, 6 months of work. So I guess that's where you'd say, okay, you know, the cost was really in the work that I put into this dress. Yeah, so that is the story of how I crocheted my wedding dress, guys. Let me see if I spoke about everything that I wanted to speak about. Oh, and during this whole process of this wedding dress, I have to be Dre can't see the dress because I don't want that. So if him come over the house, if him visit me and my mom, the dress is hidden. the only person who saw the dress was me, my mother, because we live in the same house, of course, and plus she helped me sometimes. Yeah, and she bought the yarn. She bought the, sorry, I'm referring to it as yarn, but I should be saying crochet thread, because yarn is much thicker, much fluffier, and what I did was to actually use thread, which is finer and more sturdier than crochet yarn. So the person who saw it was me, my mother, and my friend Janelle through a picture, because I almost had a meltdown in the middle of the night. So thanks to you, my friend, for preventing me from fully breaking down. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to mention was the fact that I wanted a zip in the back. I'm not sure if I have a picture of the back of the dress, but I wanted a zip in the back. But when I brought it to the dressmaker, she actually said it might be better to have a string, which I did not account for, but it did work. I actually still have it. No, well, this is another piece that I didn't use, but it's quite similar to the one that is in the dress. This is just double crochets, so one row of double crochets. So I did the chain stitch, of course, the foundation chain, and then one row of double crochets. So this was in the back, and I stringed the dress with a string that is made just like this. Actually, I believe I did 2 rows. Yes, I believe I did 2 rows or 1 row. I will check and I will put the correction on the screen, but I think it was 1 row actually, but I will put the correction on the screen, guys. So yes, so that is how I made my dress. That is how I made my dress, and that's how I got to how I looked. Aside from that, you know, you have makeup, jewelry. Guys, I did not have jewelry until the night before this wedding. The night before, after doing my hair, I finished maybe 5 p.m. I was in the halfway tree here area, and I was running up and down looking for jewelry and shoes at 5 p.m. in the evening, the day before my wedding. But thank God, thank the Lord, I was able to find stuff that I liked. So yes, guys, that's the story of how I crocheted my wedding dress. I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, but maybe. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned from this video. And yes, I still can't believe that I crocheted my dress for 18,000 Jamaican dollars, putting the equivalent on the screen. Yes guys, I did it, and I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud that I crocheted a whole wedding dress. Took some time, but I'm pretty proud. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.